new Miley Cyrus album was terrible. Hi, I'm Nate the Bias User, and today I'm going to be reviewing this new Fever Ray album, Radical Romantics. Fever Ray is back about 5 years after their sophomore. That wasn't for me, let alone something up to par with their debut, but the teasers to this new one managed to give me excitement to this album cycle, and I'm glad it was one of the teasers to open this record up. What They Call Us. The digital violin was catchy and created a huge thrill, with its recurring rise in volume. There was also these smackings of material items, in a background with a lot of room, and who can forget Fever Ray's mystical, passionate vocals, that feels that way even when whispering through an overall exciting start. Now we get into Shiver, that's much slower, but still a lot of takeaways packed in. There was a recurring bass getting spammed in one place, and had open production that made it sound like it had a voice. There's also bongos that are so polished and detailed, and this is enough to get me into the track, but there's so much more. New Utensils was a track I originally wasn't into. I found the high-pitched fuzzy synths to be over the top, and on a surface level, the bass, drums, and all the layers of synths being off-sync may have the track feeling like a hot mess. But coming back to it, everything feels like it's happening for a reason. Because not only does the soft clicking drum sound amazing, but it gives so many different sounds opportunities to play around it and give out a sense of adventure. So I like New Utensils better late than never. But after this, we get two tracks that I'm still to this day not into. With Kandy, I will give props to the detail of the spacey drums, and I don't see a reason to hate on it being a slow burner, but the bass seems to rely on it being the loudest thing in the mix to be catchy instead of just pulling off a catchy or just fun riff. Even It Out had a storm of horns that annoyed the shit out of me. And while I will say this is another track that grew on me, I mean it grew on me from a song I hated to something I now think is just okay. The greatness returns on Looking for a Ghost that's adventurous for its calm nature, but the synths have spirit and I'm plugged in by the sounds of the top of water bottles popping and being used as drums. Then there's excitement in the midst of carbon dioxide in its relatively high tempo, but my god, the synth bass on this thing takes this track places. But that includes the ending where the next thing you hear is the follow-up, North, that might be my least favorite cut. Like, yes, it's listenable ambience. There's nothing annoying about this track, but simultaneously there's also no attempts at playing with the detailed production that makes this record so engaging. It's just a safe zone. But I would say Tapping Fingers was a good ambient spin on what this record is all about, and Fever Ray's voice is super detailed when humming in the 7 minutes of ambience that I could not get bored of on the album's closer, Bottom of the Ocean. Radical Romantics doesn't have the best consistency, but the quality Fever Ray provides that I see a lot of on this record made this thing the closest they've ever gotten to being up to par with their self-titled debut since their self-titled debut. I'm gonna give this album a 7.2. Like, subscribe, comment how you feel, or give out suggestions. Check out my other social medias, and I'll see you next time.